Fans, this is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and this is the early morning, almost noon for me, probably afternoon for everyone else. Okay, let's rotate, shall we? Bacon 123. What's up, brother? Love from the UK. Igor Artemonov. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. We have a lot of things to talk about in the sport of boxing this morning. Martin Walker, what's up, brother? Counterpunch. Kind of under the weather, just sleeping late, day off, but it's never day off when it comes to Counterpunch boxing news. Danny, what's up, brother? From Israel. Counterpunch to you, brother, in Shalom. London walks. Kurt from Central London. Abdu Jallo, what's good, brother? Everything's good. Feeling great. Let's hit that like button as we come in. Tougher to beat on the cards, Canelo or Rolly. Still think Canelo, because Rolly, I think he just got a free pass for whatever reason. I think that was a PBC special for him. He got that bone through at him that day because he got that ass whooped that night. So I still think it's Canelo. At least Canelo will fight you back. He will give it a go. Mark Pinkerton, tough to beat on the cards. Absolutely. Jada Hustle, what's good, brother? Counter punch to you. Mikey C, keep that counter punching. Absolutely. Pull counter. Catch and shoot, counter punching. Mr. Park, what's up, brother? Counter punch to you. Jamie's in the building. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that like button. So we're up to date. We got Usyk and Joyce. It seems like that's the case. I don't know if it's actually going to go in that direction. That's where it looks like it's headed. 1973, Chef or Sheaf, counterpunch to you. Lee Foster, a little better, a little better. I just took some medicine, so that's why the throat is where it's at. You know what I mean? I got the Vin Diesel voice going. You know what I mean? Appreciate the follow up, bro. Tariq Reed, OG Philly, or OG Tariq from Philly. Salute, Kurt. Grind, don't stop. Smash that like button. You guys follow Tariq in this place. Let's smash the like button. Philip Hollerin, counterpunch to you, brother. Anthony LaFever, Anthony LaFever, right? Is it LaFever? Love the channel, Kurt. Honestly, is rare nowadays. Absolutely, you got to be honest. Why not? Lying doesn't help. You got to remember that shit, and that's not cool. David Muego, Mark David Muego, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. JP, blessings to you. Hope you're good. I'm okay. I'm okay. Peter Robson, evening from the UK. Well, good evening to you guys over there on across the pond. You know, um, it's been it's a UFC day today. We got Conor McGregor. Um, did you get any of my messages on Instagram? Let me see. Let me check while I can. Um, what's your name on Instagram? Because if it's not Halim, I don't think I got it. Kurt, you buster. What am I a buster about? Oh, it's Buster. Oh, okay. Here you go. Nice. Boom. Here we go. I got you now. I didn't know. You know, I mean, if it's not, if it doesn't match the name on YouTube, I'm not gonna know it. I got you now. I got you in there. I'm gonna nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Buster 51. Got you, man. Got you. Halim Bostan. I will work on those. I will because that's a lot of good material. We'll get on it. We'll get on it. Appreciate you, brother. Jason Peace. Connor going to lose the French dude is good. Hmm. If he's look, if he's out of shape, if he's just been blowing smoke, he's gonna lose. D Town Blaster, what's up, brother? Sup in the chat. What we speaking on today? Various, various topics today. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Appreciate the support. I got to get up to D Town. Got to throw back some of those pints. Did you see mine is browse? Uh, let's see. You know what I did actually? Um, Michael Buffer. Actually, I did a video on yours too. I counterpunched a video on this one, and hold on a second. Let's see. D-Town Blast. So you feel okay, Kurt? You sound a little congested, cause I am. You know, it's just recovery, man. The good thing is it's not like COVID or nothing like that. But the problem is you can't say you're sick because if you're sick, they'll just send you home and everybody will treat you like you got pleurisy or something. You know what I mean? Leprosy. You know. Did you see on Andre Ward just say that he'd rather face AJ than Canelo because all or nothing? No, I didn't. Slotello presents. Send me that link, bro. I'll take a look at it. Tips 42K. The inside news I got. I bet we don't get AJ versus Fury. Ooh, don't say that too loud because everybody's looking forward to that. Everybody's putting their time, their energy, and stuff into it. A lot of sources are out, so it's one of those things. Wow. Billy Joe to beat Canelo. Those gypsies have a way of always winning. They cheats. They all cheats. Tips 42. Usyk versus AJ next. Okay, hey, I could go for that. I think I sent the Charles. I think I sent the Charles Martin. Also, James Tony called AJ trash. I'll send it to you. Nice. But somebody like James Tony. James Tony is a guy that depended mainly on technique and skill alone because he surely didn't have power, especially at the heavyweight division. He didn't have enough, and you can tell he was lacking that. He didn't belong there. That's why he speaks the way he is. That's why the damage occurred because he was fighting in the wrong weight class. That's what I will say about James Tony. He was fighting in the wrong weight class. He had no business up there. Yeah, they say AJ versus Usyk next. I don't know. No one should be involved in the sport with someone that makes racist comments. Well, unfortunately, people are going to be racist. They're going to be racist people. You know what I mean? It's racism is taught. So it's a hard thing to try to kill an idea. You know what I mean? You can kill the person, but the idea will still be there. So racism will always be around. As much as you try to eradicate it, the only thing is, the people that teach it before, you have to stop them from teaching it before it's taught, So unfortunately, it's going to be that. And when boxing, especially when you're dealing with brute strength, skill, power, and physical, one man versus the other man, those factors are always going to raise the ugly head, and that's fact. No one should be okay. Put a Andre Ward in a care home. Ward just wants to monetize off of AJ's big name. You know, I think this is what I think. I like Andre Ward. I like Anthony Joshua. I think Andre Ward he wanted what Anthony Joshua had or has. I think because if you think about Andre Ward was a guy that he really wasn't really respected to that degree. He beat Carl Froch. He beat Sergey Kovalev when he moved up. He beat guys like Sullivan Barrera. He beat those type of guys. He beat everyone that they put him in the ring with. But it was always like with Andre Ward, and understand something with Andre Ward and Anthony Joshua. Andre Ward was a fighter that he's a good guy. SOG, son of God, God fearing man, don't cuss, don't drink, don't smoke, don't party like that, gives positive messages. He's that guy that if you wanted your children to be, or your son to role model after anybody, it would be Andre Ward. Now, saying what I'm saying all that, okay? And it's like one of those things where you got another guy, Anthony Joshua, and he is another good guy. Yeah, we're all the same human. I get it. Chris Serrano, sorry. That's right. Chris in the building. You're dealing with two different types of guys that are, good guys. You know what I mean? Good people, overall good people. And I think you can always have a certain type of envy when you have one guy that was this way, but he wasn't really looked at like this other guy. And the other guy really, everyone really took off with the whole persona and the image of that guy, which is Anthony Joshua. Think about it. Andre Ward and his prestige or his integrity versus Anthony Joshua with his character and his integrity, right? And then you look at those two guys, they're similar, the same guys. You see what I'm saying? So you have Andre Ward was this guy, Anthony Joshua this guy. What's the difference? What's the difference? It's the following. You know what I'm saying? It's the following. Derek Lemieux, love and respect to AJ, but he's going to have a hell of a time with not be a cheater, maybe one of the GOATs. That's the cold truth, and everyone knows it. I don't like Fury flex something ain't legit with him. Hell in Boston, I highly doubt it, bro. It's more news on the way they are fighting, but no one when people think and weird people think, bro. Good morning, Courage, much respect, my brother. Body rocking combos with Xavier Morales. Counterpunch to you, man. Good morning to you. But no, I think it's a sense of envy there because Andre Ward, he wanted that same type of respect that Joshua was getting for Joshua being who Joshua is. And in fact, Andre Ward, he grew up in a troubled home too. He had somewhat like a kind of like a Caleb Plant like, background. He wasn't this guy, he had a father. His father was Irish, his mother was African American. She had a substance abuse problem. His father mostly trained him. His father passed away. He had to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things with Andre Ward that a lot of people don't understand and respect about the man. But I think he wants people to respect that and respect that he is this white collar, former blue collar like person. Cisco Perez, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. And then you have a guy like AJ. that is admired and adored by many, and he's making millions and millions and millions of dollars. I think that's what Andre Ward sees, and I think that's what he envies, honestly. And I like them both. But I think Ward goes out of his way to say something about Anthony Joshua because I think he regrets. I honestly think Andre Ward regrets fighting Anthony Joshua. I think he should have went. He could have been that guy. He could have been like Alexander Usyk. Now the only thing is, I don't see Andre bashing Usyk. Now, if I seen him bashing Usyk, Marcy D, counterpunch to you, I would be without a doubt understanding like, okay, where he wanted to be. You see how like David Hay always has something kind of sour or slick on the sly to say about Alexander Usyk because Alexander Usyk beat the man that beat him. You see what I'm saying? So in this situation where Andre Ward wanted that steam. He wanted that buzz. He wanted that respect. He wanted that money. He wanted that everything that Anthony Joshua has, and that he probably would have had it if he would have went up to fight Anthony Joshua at a perfect at a particular time. Think about Andre Ward fighting on Anthony Joshua in 17. That would have been a very good fight. Why? It would have been a smaller guy versus a little guy, or because Andre Ward's what 6'1". Anthony Joshua's 6'5". And he, of course, Andre Ward has skills and he has a fighting heart, but it would have been like a bull in a matador like fight. You know what I'm saying? And I think he regrets that. That's where I think that's coming from. Honestly. Fighting Canelo or Joshua. Yeah, you want to fight Joshua because you want to fight for that huge amount of dough. And people don't understand about Canelo. Canelo's going to give you a certain amount of money. He's more like Floyd, where everybody expects Anthony Joshua to give you just this lion's share of money, where all these other fighters are not doing that. That's why I don't understand people with the double standards. No, I don't have COVID. I get tested 4 times a week. I do not have COVID. In fact, I just read my last result. I don't have COVID. I mean, there's such thing as just getting sick when the weather changes. The weather has changed. And in the South, it changes like this. So, no, I don't have COVID, bro. Are you seriously underrating AJ, man? AJ in 2017 completely destroys Ward. He can. He can destroy Ward, but we also seen him in 2017 get tired. We seen him get tired. Oh, he's 6'6". Okay. Okay. Joshua 6'6". Okay, yeah. Joe Joyce is 6'5". You got it. You got it. Sorry, I've been counterpunched. Been counterpunched. Excuse me, all the Hades. Sorry, sorry. But no, I think you can look at it. Look, I understand Kovalev dropped Ward with a right hand. I understand if you bring him in a totally, that's a light heavyweight. You bring his ass from 25 pounds upward, okay, 205, because that's probably where Ward will fight Joshua. Fighting a guy that's 50 pounds over him, getting hit with a guy 50 pounds over him, yeah, the chances are slim. I'm not saying he's going to win, but what I'm saying is that would be the better time or the best time to fight Joshua. Why? Because Joshua he had a factor, whatever was wrong with him, that he gassed out at times. He did it in the Ruiz one fight. He did it in the Klitschko fight. Okay. So he does gas, or he used to gas out. I haven't seen that lately from him in his last 2 fights, but it is what it is. I think I think that Andre Ward would have had a better chance then because Anthony Joshua was greener. He threw caution to the wind, and he did go for the gusto. I think he was more dangerous back then, but I think he's more of a controlled fighter. Shout out for me, Kurt. You're awesome. Watching you all the time. A shout out from Scotland. 1973 chef. Kind of punch to you, brother. Shout out to you. We have 100 people on the chat. Let's get 100 likes. Let's get 100 likes. Let's go. Let's hit that like button. He gassed out in the Pulev fight too. No, I don't think he gassed out in the Pulev fight. I think what he did, he stopped throwing as much to stop from getting gassed out in Turpentine. I think he thought about it like, you know what, let me stop throwing all these punches before I do find myself at a level of me getting tired. Now, did he slow down? Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he was gassed out. Look, there's a difference between slowing down your punch output and getting gassed out. Gassed out is something that you really can't fake. You started breathing heavy, from breathing from the bottom all the way to the top, and you see your chest coming up. You know what I mean? And that's how that you can tell someone's gassed. On top of that, they're not fighting, and then they're more than likely they're eluding. Now, was Pulev able to throw and land some right hands? Yeah, he was. You know, London Walks, 50,000 subs party soon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll go for it. I predict it'll happen sometime early February. So stay tuned. We'll do a live 50,000 sub party. Definitely. We'll definitely do it. I'm down for it. Tips, you think Fury would say that he doesn't need to fight Wilder and that Bob, a former lawyer, would say that Wilder has no leg to stand on if a contract was actually active? Source. That's the problem about the sources. We haven't seen the contract on that stuff. We don't know really what it consists of and what it is. So obviously Bob's saying it with confidence. So, you're asking if it's bluffing or not. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, I think if you were going to try to fight for something that you weren't sure of, you would try to at least mediate. And that's what they did. So it does make sense what Bob Arum's saying, because it's like if they had if they had them dead to rights, dead to rights, yo, you ducking us and you're not getting away with it. We have the contract, the title deed right here. It wouldn't have been a reason for mediation, and they would spend the proper money to get the lawyers intact to go to court, because then the courts could benefit and sacrifice the amount of money it took to hire the judges to do a particular thing, because they're dead to rights. But they didn't do that. They went for the mediation first, and that tells you, well, why would you go for the mediation? Joshua gets 2 or 3 months in moments in a fight where he's so explosive. Yeah, he does like to explode. He likes to he's waiting for that moment to throw those punches. Kurt, early prediction. Remember, I have a gut feeling AJ knocks out Fury in 6 rounds once AJ lands. Ooh, okay, Lex Gaming. You know what I'm gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do, Lex Gaming. I'm gonna screenshot this sucker. I'm gonna screenshot. Boom. And I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. Joshua versus Fury trilogy. I see that happening. If one wins, you got 1-1, and that would be the fight. But guess what? These fights are happening, and they should happen. Okay, and this is only 2 of 3 of the fights that we need to happen. All the top fighters need to fight each other. So I want you guys to understand me. This is great that the fighters want to fight each other, that they both want to fight each other, and we can see the fights are getting closer. They're both promoting the fights, on their social platforms. So they want to fight. The only thing is, this is 2 out of 3. They say 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? They say it ain't bad. They say it's one of those, okay, hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We're getting some of these fights. We've seen Tyson Fury fight Wilder. We've seen now, hopefully, Fury fight Joshua. But now we have to see who wins out of everyone. Let's see what Joshua and Wilder do. And but I think Wilder has to redeem himself. Wilder has to come back. And you fighting Charles Martin? No, it wouldn't be bad, because Charles Martin ain't a guy that been losing. He's not been on a losing streak, so it looks good. Penny Royal, love from the UK. Counterpunch to you, Penny. Do you think Ryan Garcia is going to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, or is it all clout chasing? It's all clout chasing right now, Vladimir Fonseca. It's all clout chasing. You know, they're just building their names off each other, getting everybody all ravved up, making everything happen, making all the buzz, making all the talk, making all the predictions, making all the content, and the people. It trickles down. Okay. What happens is this is what happens in professional boxing these days. How social media promotes you in a potential fight. You don't have to fight a person next to say I'm fighting a person next, because once that happens, you make that statement. That statement, those words create ideas. The ideas create power and motion. Okay, so then when you're speaking of something, when they say that, you know, speak it, believe it, receive it. There is a logical remedy with that. Then once someone says that, okay, then fans hear it, then it trickles down to the content creators like us. We hear it, then we share it with our warm market of people, like you guys are my warm market of people, and then we talk about it. But guess what? It came from an idea, and the idea, you know, was expressed in words, and then the words made that happen. Okay? Nothing stronger than an idea. So the idea of those guys fighting is causing all this. And not contracts to sign and posting it on social media and this them fighting. No, none of that. That's not even the case yet. You don't need all that yet. It's a cheap way to promote each and every fighter, because what happens when the fight don't happen next? Then that would be the next fight. Hopefully, we'll get that fight after these guys get past whoever they need to get past. So that person that's in the way of that fight, that fight also becomes important, because everyone's anticipating, will that fighter win? Will he lose? Before we get to see this super fight, the other side to the other guy, the same thing for him, for Javante Tank Davis. If he will he beat this guy? Oh, that's a tough guy. He ain't no punk. Let's see what he does with that guy. And if they get past those guys, then they call each other out. Right? So we looking for the call out after they defeat the guys that are supposed to be in front of the guys that they need to fight. So they call out the guys that they need to fight. And guess what? That creates more buzz for the fans, to the content creators, to spread to their warm market of people. And that's how that happens. But then again, if the fight doesn't work again, it only makes people anticipate it. Okay. But here's the problem: anticipation begets frustration. That's what happens. People get tired of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and what the fuck waiting. People get tired of that. And then when they figure out it's not going to happen, though, but those guys, their sales have went up. The the traffic of these channels that create talks of these guys, the hashtags, the social medias, the amount of followers have increased. Why? Because now people are starting to hate that person, but now they think that person is going to fight that guy they always wanted them to fight. So then everyone pays more attention to those fighters. That's how it works in a nutshell, people. Counterpunch. But then who says and guarantees those fights are actually going to happen? But the one thing that could happen, the one bad thing that happened is what? They lose. So once they lose, then it's like, oh shit, there goes that. But what does that really mean? Can that fighter come back? Especially if you're a fan of that fighter. Like, let's say Ryan Garcia would have been beaten by a cool hand Luke. Okay, then he would have really fell off because he wasn't tested. But now that he's tested, and then he gets up against the guy and he loses to right before the Javante Tank Davis fight, all that kind of fizzes away, except for that warm market of people that were with Ryan Garcia anyway. They are going to want him to see what he can do, to see what he's made of. He's taken his first loss. We got to see. Perfect example. What happened in 2019? What happened in 2019? One of the biggest upsets in boxing history. That's what happened. Ruiz beat Joshua. Did Joshua fall off? It was some people that dropped. It was some people from my warm market of people. My subs dropped maybe about 1,000. And it was crazy. I mean, just like that. Same night that Joshua fell, okay, when they stopped that fight in the seventh round, the referee, when he stopped it, I probably at the time I might have had 19,600. I look back at my shit, that shit had like 18,400. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah. So people fell off like, oh, bollocks, right? And but what happened? The people that still loved AJ was still there. Did you watch Fury versus Klitschko live? Oh, no, no, I didn't. I saw the fight as it happened, but I wasn't there live. I seen the fight. It was in 15. Um, I did see the fight. I saw, Tyson Fury with the angles, and I was very intrigued by the way Tyson Fury got through that fight. April or May, they probably might make that announcement. Halim Boston, may I hope so. I still want to see Baby Miller versus Joshua. Why not? I want to see that fight too, because that's one of the biggest fights that was hyped that actually didn't happen when it was on the table to happen. That fight should have happened. You had a New York fighter, a brash New York undefeated fighter by the name of Jarrell Miller, that was a force to be reckoned with, that was selling a fight. He could sell himself. He talked much smack. Then you had the introduction of Anthony Joshua coming over to do a quote unquote British invasion from the unified champion, on top of the fact we already had the WBC championship here. Ty Okan, counterpunch to you, brother. Salute to you. That made it that much intriguing. Joshua came out, and said, "Hey, I want to talk to Deontay Wilder and sit down man to man." That made more buzz. But then you suddenly started to see what it really meant, what was going on, and what was going on. The fact that you had all the belts at once upon a time, you had them all in the United States. Now they're all in the UK. But before you had that, you had Big Baby Miller failing the drug test, failing like three different substances. Everybody was like, "Oh shit." Then Dillian White wasn't ready. That's why he was on the redemption list. And I didn't put him on there yet because he was fat and out of shape. And I'm like, dude, you just knocked out your sword not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it took him 2 months to go, fuck it, I'm done. He had a busy thing to do. He wanted to be that top dog. He was the body snatcher. He had the left hook from the gods, right? Hughes has a solid chin and lightning fast hands with power. Any of those tall guys going down if they stand to trade. Yeah, nobody's gonna trade with Andy Ruiz. That's stupid. Joshua learned that shit. Then it was White. White pissed over the opportunity. I'm not ready. Okay. Then it was Jarrell. Well, then it was Jarrell Miller. Well, Jarrell Miller kind of came right after that, so I'm off chronologically. So it was White at first. He wasn't ready, and then then he came over here and started eating all our processed bullshit. And then he got fat. Then he said there wasn't enough time. Then after that, it was the money was off, which the money was off. It wasn't right. It wasn't the way it's supposed to have been. And then you had Jarrell Miller. Then Jarrell Miller fell. Then you had Luis Ortiz. He pissed it down the toilet. Him and his bullshit Al Heyman sabotage team. They messed that money up. Then you had Michael Hunter. Then you had Andy Ruiz. Nico, the best. You are absolutely right. Miller and Thurman, I like both of those guys because of their personality. You are absolutely smack on, dead on. Personality. White has no interest in boxing anymore. I don't believe that. I think he does. I think he does. I know he can get this. Look, I don't blame him from being discouraged. Because, I mean, that knockout set him back a lot. He would have been that one guy that would like, yo, let's give Dillian White a chance. He ain't lost in so big. He gets knocked out. That's another excuse. And look, that ain't just been one time. That's been twice. See, with that sketchy drug test with Dillian White, that was the first draw. With the knockout, that was the second draw. But each time, the WBC found a way to mess over Dillian White because of his shortcomings. That's a fact. You tell him, John Floor. You tell him, John Floor. Will you consider AJ An all-time great if he beats Fury twice and becomes undisputed. Well, he has to defend the undisputed chain reign too. See, you get all the kingdoms, you get all the belts. You have to defend each and every one of them a certain amount of time before considering him an all-time great. And then the thing is, an all-time great deals with a lot of different dynamics. Does he have the personality, character? Yes, he does. Does he have the image? Yeah, sure, he has the image, but like, has he learned anything? I think he has, but then here's the thing: he hasn't been in there with everyone yet. See, you have to see a fighter fully challenged, 100% challenged, and Anthony Joshua hasn't been fully 100% challenged. Has he done more than any other heavyweight we have? Yes, he has. But has he been fully challenged by different skills and different styles? No, he has not. Not yet. Not the ones, the Usyks, the Furies, the Wilders. Wilder has that. Wilder can develop that sneaky hand. I look. Wilder reminds me of fighting in a street fight. Because there's a lot of people that will sneak you. They call it steal on you. So Wilder don't really box you. He steals on you. Steals on you, drops you, then says you got stole on. That's what he did to Ortiz. Ortiz was boxing Wilder. Wilder was looking for one steal, and he stole on him. That's all it took. So he's one of those guys that he doesn't believe in skill. He believes in the cleverness of throwing a certain punch that could end it all. And that mentality makes you really dangerous. He hit Fury in the last fight. He did. I just wondered where the punching power went. I always will wonder where it went that night. I think Fury beats him, Bud. Fury too good of a boxer. London locked in. Philip Belgrave, counterpunch to you. Big Baby Miller, a joke. He ain't that good. Well, I want to see him back in the ring. I want to see him. We don't have enough American heavyweights. The American heavyweight we did have, he turned into a fucking mute selectively, and that's what we have. You know what I mean? We don't even know what he's planning to do. Let's check. Let's check Wilder's Instagram. Let's see what he's up to. Because I mean, he used to always have content on his Instagram. Um, uh, the last thing we've seen him was from January 1st. That's a long time. That's what I'm talking about. You wouldn't see Wilder just this quiet. You know what I mean? That's been 22 days ago. So you know what I mean. So he's become one of those guys. He pops in and out, and he's been quiet a long time. I want somebody that's brash. That even though, see, you understand, even though Jarrell Miller was in the wrong, he was still talking shit. Don't believe everything you hear. Everything gonna be, everybody after me. It's been a sabotage, but don't worry. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back. Don't worry. But look, don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you hear. Adam Kalnaki's he's from Poland, really. He represents Poland. You know what I'm saying? Like Andy Ruiz, he's a Mexican American, but he has huge ties to Mexico as well. I think he fought for Mexico on the Olympic team. So if you do that, it's like what it is. You know, so it's one of those things where the real true heavyweights we don't have any like that. Wilder, Charles Martin, Hunter, Miller. Miller's out of Hunter's a nice guy. I like Hunter. Like he's a good dude, but he doesn't look like he deserves, like not deserves. Can't That's a wrong word. He doesn't look like he fits into the heavyweight, you know. like being a boxer. He doesn't seem like a boxer to me. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I hope AJ beats the wheels off of Fury. Fury makes my skin itch for the simple fact he's went to the top and never gives these guys a rematch. No title defenses at all. The public should hate Fury. Brian Jones. I can see that. I can see why. I can see why you feel that way because Tyson Fury is a guy that just he. It's almost like he gets a good night and that's it. You know, I mean, that's his track record. You know, I mean, it like even when the Wilder situation, it's like people look at that like, okay, well, the first fight was a draw, but the second fight, he showed Wilder like why Wilder should have paid attention to Mark Breland before that fight started, in every other training session before that because he showed Deontay Wilder what a true ass whooping was. He did do that. Now, a lot of people would wonder, and a lot of people would argue with you and say, "Well, why would he want to fight Wilder again?" Well, for the simple fact he already has that stripe against him because of the Vladimir fight. He pulled a Mayweather. So Gordon Mullen, as a Brit, I want to see the return of a great American heavyweight. Yeah, if they stop fucking going to the UFC, if they stop going over there, we probably could get. Think about Romero, the UFC fighter from Cuba. I think he would be like another Oscar Rivas. Oscar Rivas is another guy that he fights out of Canada. He's Colombian. Ruiz Ortiz, El Cubano, he's Cuban. You know. Exposaholic, Wilder versus Fury 3 in July. That's some wishful thinking, Exposaholic. We got to see if it comes to pass. You know what? I'm going to do this for you, Exposaholic. Boom. You're going to screenshot that sucker. So then you can see I told you so. You screenshotted it. If that happens, you'll be right on the money, and that'll be some powerful stuff. Because nothing is more important than evidence and saying things before it happens, making predictions, make you so powerful and so accurate. You know what I mean? And it shows faith on what you believe in also. Just like I thought Joe Joyce was going to beat Daniel Dubois. Now, that was coming off from a standpoint of skill set. But that doesn't mean I wasn't mad about it. I mean, I was content about it because I felt useful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you hear people, but please don't to anybody on this chat, do not take what my predictions and try to bet on that shit. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Because I don't want to be responsible. Because I don't gamble in any shape, form, or fashion, especially when it comes to money. People, life is a gamble at certain points. I get it, but what I mean. Don't use what I predict as a way to gamble and bet on. Don't do that. Because you're going to be pissed off. You pull a showbiz the adult and shit and throw 10,000 on some fucking body and then he loses it and you got that from me. Nope. Spoilaholic, mate, that was funny. Are you sure you're not an alcoholic? Nah, he's exposaholic. Did Brian Jennings retire? I don't know if he retired. But I know he's been beaten by Vladimir Klitschko. He's been beaten by Luis Ortiz. He's been beaten by Oscar Rivas. Those are not bad fighters. And see, looking at Brian Jennings going into the Vlad fight, he was 19-0, I believe. I know he was definitely undefeated. Okay. And Vlad and himself stunk up Madison Square Garden. Vladimir Klitschko was booed. He was booed to no degree. Okay. It was a boring fight. He was booed. He was just like, hey, we don't even really want to see that style over here. I can't stand Vladimir's style. I respect it, but I can't stand the way he fights. Because he's like a big, taller fighter that uses certain things that it's annoying. It's annoying. The jab and grab shit, it's annoying. You jab a guy, and if you miss, you grab his ass and smother him. You know what I mean? People get tired of seeing that formation happen all the time. Jab, jab, miss, bring you towards me and wrap you up. People get tired of that. Are you well now? I don't know what are you referring to. Lex Gaming. Yeah, yeah. We had a Cuban blood. Grandmothers from that country. I've never been to Cuba though. Stayed in Miami a couple years. You know what I mean? Hung out there. Go there might quite often, honestly. If I'm gonna go out, I'll visit, go to Coconut Grove, chill out, hang out. But yeah, Cuban roots. Let's say that. Because a lot of people, well, you half. No, I'm not half. Just you know, I have people from there. I have people from a lot of places. I have people from Kansas City. Am I a Kansas Cityan? No, I live there. Sure. Kansas City runs through my veins because of the people I have there, of course. But I'm from the South, dude. From the bloody South. Let's see, Brooklyn Bushwhackers. What's happening, good bro? Love your good show, or good love your show, good brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, man. Like I said, Kurt is the best channel from the USA. Halim Boston, appreciate you, brother. Tate Jones thought Sugar Hill would make a third fight. You know what happened? You cheated us. Ricky Torre. Ah, yeah, but then see, that makes Tate Jones look like it was something that he knew or he was calling out Sugar Hill on that once again didn't prove to be true. You see what I'm saying? So, it's it's one of those things. It's one of those things, man, where you let people, you let people's words describe them. You let people's, you things have to, when you say something, it has to be backed up by fact. So if you're thinking that, hey, well, this is going to happen if you tell me, and see, telling me is really not the thing. Telling the whole platform of Counterpunch Boxing News that this was this, and then other stuff contradicts you. That it's like, okay, either you're a liar or the person's lying, because we've seen so many different things from so many different people based on the interview that I heard that just contradicted and tore his story all the shit. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I was asking you because you weren't 100%. It's the nurse in me. Penny Royalty, thank you, appreciate it. Nah, I got some congestion. I ran last weekend like an idiot outside, and I didn't have the proper clothing on, and I was running the stairs, and I was running the stairs, and I was breathing in all this cold air, and that's how it got me. It was just too cold to be running, but I'm feeling better though now. I thank you for your support. That nurse. Send me some pointers of what I need through Instagram or something if you have the time. That would be awesome because I got a good ear to stuff. Like I've been drinking my concoction. Garlic, minced garlic, lemon, raw honey, and ginger root, and I'll blend it in my NutriBullet. That's what I drink every morning. But it opens me up. So, you know, and I've been taking medicine too. Now here's one. Both boxers, AJ and Fury, got big pride and too much to lose. No, somebody has to lose. But it is one of those fights you're like, damn, it's Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. I like both of those fighters. Philip, Little Havana in Miami is mental. I brought home a lot of Cuban cigars. Oh, I brought home a lot of Cuban cigars, and yes, they were lovely smoke after some Kush. Yeah, but like you go to Key West, Florida, and you have now. Here's the catch: it's not the real cigars. It's not like, and don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to disrespect like the Cubans that roll, because you had a lot of you had a lot of Cubans that rolled cigars, and in Cuba, rolling cigars is considered a very good trade. Now, post Castro, a lot of those guys left. They went to the Dominican Republic. They came here. They came to a lot of different places, but it's not the same with the tobacco. That's the whole thing. It's almost like making a Cuba Libre with Bacardi. A Cuba Libre is not a Cuba Libre unless you have a Ron Cube or some kind of Cuban rum, not Bacardi. That's from Puerto Rico. It might say Santiago de Cuba. It's not that. That's some shit from Puerto Rico with a little bat on it and shit. That's Puerto Rican. You can look at the bottom. But if you can find some like Ron Cube, stuff like that, that would be great. So if you ever if for you guys in the UK, if you guys can visit Cuba and you can get some Ron Cube, please ship it to me because you can ship it from the UK. You just can't ship it from Cuba, and I would love it, and I would pay top dollar for the shit. So just keep that under your hat. Ron Cube, LORON Cubey, Ron Cube. So if you're ever in Cuba, that's the actual rum you use to make the authentic official Cuba Libres. Comatose, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Dominic Size, Counterpunch. Imagine if Dillian White saw Drew Titan. It would be over for Drew. Marcy D, why? What did Drew Titan say about Dillian White? Because I mean, I've seen. I just learned of Drew Titan recently. He's the guy that wished death upon Sugar Hill in fucking car fire. So yeah, dip your cigar in whiskey and puff away. It is great when you're having a few drinks. Excuse me, I never thought of that. I'm not I'm not big on the smoking thing right now. But the rum, yeah, give me some rum. We got helmets. We got helmet cigars in the UK. Okay. What you share a meal with Lennox Lewis, some Jamaican food. Nico the best. Yeah, if you don't punch me in the face. He might punch me in the face. Yeah, it's different leaves. It's different tobacco. Absolutely. It's just, it's just something different about it. Just like where a lot of the Cubans went to the Dominican, it's not the same. So, but anyway, say it with me. Pay or fight. Okay. Robski, hot water, honey, lemon, ginger, and whiskey, guaranteed to work 100%. Nah, keep the whiskey. I might just get drunk. Oscar Rivas versus King Kong. That would be a good fight. You'd have Colombia versus Cuba. That would be great. That would be a great Latin rivalry. Cuban and Colombian. That'd be cool. That's like Puerto Rican and honestly, that's like Puerto Rican and Mexican. Cubans and Colombians. Yeah. You know, like you do the history between those guys and drug trades and stuff like that. Yeah. Hope you do the interview with Sugar. You're a nice guy and not going to say, I wish you were burning a car. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna call. I got some stuff up my sleeve. I'm gonna reach out to him because we're in the same time zone. If he's in Detroit, right? So yeah, we're in the same time zone, Central. Dresses like a gay Rambo. I remember T Street was like saying, like, dude, who has the cap that matches with the wife beater? Who still does that shit? I guess up there they do. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people dress a certain way in certain places, and then they go somewhere else. You're like, what are you wearing? So, yeah, I think Philip Hergovich can be bad news in the heavyweights. I hope so. He just needs to keep winning. Have the Jura on hand for medicinal purposes. Okay. Obviously, proper smooth whiskey. I don't know what that is. So send me a picture of that through like Instagram or whatnot, please. What do you think about Joey Diaz? Joey Diaz. You talking about the comedian? Joey Diaz will end up in Metro. I'm just playing with you, man. I don't know. I haven't seen him. But the only Joey Diaz that comes to mind is like the Cuban comedian. I mean, let's talk about Cuba. Kurt was in Cuba when he went on my cruise, but my stuff got confiscated. Oh, that sucks. Philip, yeah. So they're like that everywhere. I mean, we can't get in. Like we can get like what's stupid about the U.S. is you buy something in Jamaica, like especially on a cruise, you have to pay American taxes on it. Why would you have to pay American taxes on something that you didn't buy in fucking America? Didn't it doesn't even make sense, dude. It's just like some fucking bully shit. Oh, you bought that where? Canada? Okay, pay us. You bought it in Jamaica? Okay, you're gonna pay the tax. What? No. What's your picks on tonight's people sleeping on Aleem? I got him in Leo. I think that's a very good fight, Ryan. Honestly. Oh, JoJo Diaz fought Tevin Farmer not too long ago. He's pretty good. JoJo Diaz. Now JoJo Diaz and then Joey Diaz. Okay, he's a different guy. The Godfather of boxing. Kurt, I'd like to hear your opinion. Wilder versus Charles Martin, and do you think Martin has a good chance now he's with Manny Robles because he says Wilder cannot fight on his back foot? Can you counterpunch? I believe him. That's if he can get Wilder going backwards without Wilder smashing his face in. That's the equation. He's gonna have to push Wilder back, make Wilder go back because Wilder can't fucking punch going backwards. So yeah, that but him being a southpaw, Wilder having a straight hard right hand, that's a very dangerous fight for Charles Martin. And see, Wilder's one of them guys. He wants to end the night early. He ain't trying to be in there doing rounds, putting in rounds. He trying to get you out of there. Victor Bada, Kurt Burn, Bum Fury has no chance against AJ. Facts, not feelings. Okay, he's a bum though, but that's how you feel, right, Victor? I need to get you on. I still need to get on your other channel, MMA. Yeah, it's just Counterpunch Boxing News Round Two. Charles Martin gets KO'd in first round. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's done that many a time, so I don't doubt it. You know, he's done that a lot. Anybody know what time the McGregor fight is in the UK? Yeah, it's around 4 a.m. Yeah, you guys got that quick, really quick. Kurt Wilder is so deluded, it's crazy. He might never be the same. Have you watched Brian Custer's podcast? I have. I seen that whole thing, and it was just it was a tell all. It was a good interview, but it just shows you that where Wilder is, what he thinks, what he feels. It wasn't the best thing to do in my opinion. I think he shouldn't have done it. I think he should have kept his mouth shut. Oh, guys, check this out. Larry King, Larry King, the commentator, he died today, 87 years of age. I mean, he was on all that good shit. If you were somebody, you were interviewed by this man, Larry King. Wow. Let's see how he died. I just seen it, just popped up. Okay, let's see. Which co-founded 2012. All right, yeah, Larry King. I didn't know he was that old. Honestly, he looked pretty good for his age. You know. I mean, he didn't look young, but he didn't look 87. I would have thought he was probably 72, something like that, like a prestige, still got your mind type, but older cat. This just gave up like a breakdown of him and stuff like that. Highest rated talk show and CNN's biggest success story. Well, yeah, like yo, he was the truth. Those are the type of things if you're a commentator that you want to sit down and talk to someone, and you know what I mean. That's like the end. That would be the end game for this type of channel. I like talking and stuff like that, but I want to bring guests on and sit across from them, man to man, none of the behind the computer, behind the camera like shit, but man to man, talk to a person, give your idea, ask them questions, pick their brains, see where their heart is, see where their mind is, see who they are as a person. Those are the type of interviews you want to give. And Larry King did exactly that. Larry King interviewed Mike Tyson once. He did. See, again, if you were anybody, Larry King interviewed you. You got to that level, that CNN level, that worldwide news broadcasting level to be interviewed by that particular person. So, much respect to him. God bless the dead. Rest in peace, rest in power. I hope his journey is a great one. Do a podcast with Anthony Joshua, man to man after he wins undisputed. Slotello, I've got the ends on that. I'm gonna have to go to the UK to get a Joshua interview, and I will do that. Mike Hall, exactly. Probably blame COVID. I was looking for that, because I had a cousin, God bless the dead, last year, 87 years of age, no priors. I stayed with him in New Orleans. Even if I had a room or not and stuff like that, I would still go to see him. And he passed of COVID of last year, like when it really hit, like March, April. You know what I'm saying? And so he was the same age as my cousin. Okay, died Saturday, and he was 87. Okay, that was Saturday. That's today. Shit. Okay. Um. Wow. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Damn, RCD, yeah, or no, right? Sorry to hear that. Um. I may watch it, J Day. J Day, I may watch it. Depends on how I feel. More than likely, I will. New York Times states that Larry King died of COVID. Okay, yeah. That shit just something tells me that shit might be invented for older people to get the older generation out of the way so they can start fucking with us more. You know what I mean? So I mean because Larry King was a guy that definitely has prestige. Want to see King Ryan versus Javante Tank, Ricky Torre, me too. Imagine Martin knocks out Wilder. Wilder will be done. Wilder, look, because at that point, this is what'll happen if Martin knocks out Wilder. Let me guys give you this. I'll probably do a video on this too. But excuse the sniffling. I know that kind of freaks a lot of people out. It's gross, disgusting. I'm sick. Fuck off. Anyway, if Martin beats Deontay Wilder and the Wilder channels, you know what's going to happen? Yeah, depopulation, JD Spades, counterpunch to that shit. You know what's going to happen? It's going to be another conspiracy, and it's not going to be what you think. It's going to be a conspiracy. It's not against Charles Martin. It's not going to be that at all. And I'm gonna make a video probably today because I got a couple more to do. But today, it's going to be a situation where everybody is going to blame you know who? Tyson Fury. See, here's the thing. Like they never stopped believing the Glovegate shit since they never stopped and Charles Martin goes out there and knocks out Deontay Wilder. They're going to claim he wasn't fit to fight. They're going to claim he was already injured. They're going to bring up that fucking dented skull, mandible situation bullshit. They're going to bring it up. It's going to come to the forefront. They're going to claim that Tyson Fury ruined Deontay Wilder's career by cheating him. That's what they're going to do. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. That's gonna be that go to. I'm gonna do a video about it. No, they won't accuse the promoter. Why would look, they can't. That's Al Heyman. They can't accuse him. Do you see a video on Max and Timothy calling Canelo not fighting the best? No, I didn't see, Jay. Send it to me. Yeah, they'll blame it from the autopsy. Yeah. Yeah, CJ, yeah. Um, I got your message. You don't have to send it 100 fucking times. Kurt, us Brits would love that podcast with you and AJ. Get knowledge to get it sorted. Yeah, I'll get it. I'm working on it. I'm working. We working. You know? So that would be a good one. Just to chop it up, talk shit. You know what I mean? And but in time, I think after filming, I'll have time to go to these guys, not as that bullshit, no, go and sit down like a nice setting, nice table, as we, film it as we just speak, as we talk, just like kind of like a Bryant Gumbel like situation or a Larry King. Shouts out to him, just like that. Nothing like, oh, well, this, that, and the other. The virtual ones are cool because of COVID, but then, we have to get back to the real life in person, shakes your hand, looks the guy in your eye, asking them questions. Tell that guy what you think of him. Honestly, no bullshit, no ass kissing, right? None of that. Just telling what you feel about that fighter, what's expected of that fighter, what that fighter's plans are, those type of things. Yeah, he's passed. Larry King is gone, bro. Yep. Larry King, COVID. Yep. Hospitalized with COVID-19. So that means he wasn't even like sick with cancer. It's a fucking thing that's killing people. You know? Scarface, Tony Montana impression, please. Oh, man. Tony Montana. Hold on a second. Okay. Antonio Montana. What do you call yourself? You want to be like a sheep. I love this boxing, In Goa, we can't fight professional. I think because of the beard, the beard, he won't let us do shit. You just eat octopus. We got eat so much octopus is coming out of our fucking nose. You know. But if you can swim, se puede nadando. To Estados Unidos. Over here in the States, you can box for fun. You can fight for fun and for money. You can breast somebody's fucking brains in like this. So it's good to leave Goa. Feels good. Ain't that right, Frank? Don't worry. We're the best fighters. Because we're stuck on this fucking island, and all we do is know how to fucking fight in Olympics. That's all we do. And, sell a little cocaine. Antonio Montana. Yeah, it was that guy, man. I'm wondering, like, dude, how could anyone, like, how you pick up chicks? It's a trip. He gave Michelle Pfeiffer a little coke and then tried to rush her. Come on, baby, tell me how you love me. I thought you like me. I thought you like me, like little kids. We make little kids together. I'm like, dude, what the hell? You know? Oh man, yeah, that was fun. Larry King died from coronavirus. He was a legend. Yeah, the Godfather of boxing. He did. You know, the TUE. Yeah, right. Yeah, that'll be a ideal. Hey, so tell me about your TUE there, Joshua. Are they permitting you to use drugs on the cold, and the doctors can omit it without even being reported because it's reported? They can't exploit it, and they can't exploit it. That means you can use it. Motherfucker, be like, get the fuck out of my gym. Do me like Tywin Booth and shit. Joe Brown, what's up, brother? Kind of punched you in the building. Bud, you're looking a maniac. Well, Wilder should destroy Martin, but remember, Martin is a better boxer. Yeah. A lot of boxers were better than him, though. He knocked him the fuck out and nailed him. Ask Joshua to show him his girl so the LDBC can stop calling him gay. Okay. Uh, I don't care what the LDB. Like, Joshua, I think he's one of them cats that, like, he dates and stuff, but he doesn't. He probably tell them chicks to, like, sign an NDA and shit like that. Yeah. But on that note, my battery's failing, guys. So I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna do some more videos for you guys. I might go live later. Definitely will go live tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get Dean White on here. Everybody from the chat, you guys be cool, be safe, and everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.